think we're making politics and social issues too complicated in the United States. And that's because we're trying to respect both sides of the issue. All right. And when one side advocates treating everyone humanely with equity, equality, and respect, at least in words they do, there aren't two sides. There aren't two sides to being human. You're either humane or you're not. What could the other side be? I'll tell you what it could be. You're an asshole. I mean, if you don't want to follow basic humanism, you don't have a side. You're a jerk. I mean, there's a right. I'm sorry. There's a right and there is hate. And we are legitimizing the other side. And it's really disgusting. There is following the Constitution that says we're supposed to have liberty and justice for all. Now, of course, we have never always followed that, but we're supposed to be going in that direction. Okay? And that's where my head is, in that direction. When the other side is not going in that direction, I don't consider it a side. You know, I consider a side the side where people are humanistic and believe that all groups are worthy of equity. You know, the whole build a more perfect union thing. That is a side. And then there's the lying white supremacist side, whose goals are to amplify the post-truth culture by gaslighting and pushing flagrant lies about conspiracy theories to make people be cult-like and follow. And these people are completely full of shit. And I don't count them as a side. And I'm reading in the newspaper, I'm reading in articles that this is a legitimate side. And I'm sorry, I think not. There has to be some sort of hierarchy of standards. Republican, Democrat, I'm neither. I'm a human. I'm not either any of those. And humanism is where I start first. There has to be a hierarchy. There has to be some sort of shared belief in humanism and the sanctity of life. That has to be above all else. And we are so missing that in this country. You know what? Maybe we always have been. But boy, is it showing its ugly head the last 4 or 5, 6 years. This should include best practices in hard science and social science. Nothing's perfect. We don't have it all figured out. But for the love of God, let's use the science that we do have figured out and not fall back to, you know, the olden days when we just, you know, thought gods were shifting the furniture up there, you know, when it was an earthquake. I mean, come on, people. And you know what? The GOP right now is not even close. They aren't even close. It is a joke. The hope was that when Trump was gone, I mean, it was a hope, it was a prayer, that the GOP would come to their senses. And you know, I've done tons of these talks on what people expected and what he's going to do, and you know, and Applebaum's book, The Twilight of Democracy, and all that. But they are still freaking terrified of that man. And so they are continuing his charade. And I'm sorry, but it's gotten ridiculous. You know, when someone asks a question that is so ludicrous to you that you're like, you know what? I'm not even going to dignify that with a response. I think politics has reached and surpassed that point. In fact, by calling what Trumpsters espouse as politics, just by even calling it politics, is already dignifying it beyond what it deserves. Rant over.